What's up, ladies? I want to wish you a beautiful Thanksgiving. I hope you're enjoying it with your families. Your girls over here are about to go inside that building and work for 13 hours, and that's okay. You know, my kids come up to me last night. They're like, hey, Mom, I can't believe you're going to be missing from the family Thanksgiving dinner. They were like, why don't you just not go in? I said to her, oh, my God, to my kids, I said, I'm going to call up my director and tell the nerve of you to have a hospital open, close it down for 24 hours. These kids are so cute, you girls, And I explained this to them, and they started laughing. They were like, yeah, Mom, we get it. They were like, Mom, do you remember that year that you got divorced from that man? Because they won't even say, dad or father. They won't acknowledge him since he's never acknowledged them for 8 years. It's really funny, you girls. Everybody has a biological father, but it takes a lot to have a dad, and my children didn't have that, and that's okay because they had mama. Anyway, you girls, so I was like, yeah, I remember you guys. They were like, I want you to know, Mom, that we watched you wipe away a lot of tears just because we were young. We understood and felt your pain, but we didn't know to ever ask you how you were feeling. And I was like, you know what, you guys, I was okay. You were my motivation. I got up, I went out there, I did what I had to do, I hustled, and here we are. And they were like, yes, Mom. And the next year, I said, we bought our own home, and we were sitting in a bigger and better kitchen, baby. Let's get it. I said, and this is what education does for you guys. Can you imagine if Mom didn't have a degree or an education? Oh my God, we'd be living in that apartment for the rest of our lives. And this is why I stress the importance of it. So they said to me, I know that, Mom, and thank you for being that leader in our life. Thank you for going out there and hustling so hard. We remember you not being home for a year almost. I worked 2 jobs, and I did as much as I can just to replace that house into a home, and I did it, you girls. So I want you to listen to my story, and my stories are really a big struggle, and the reason why I explain them to you is I want you to know that anything that you want in life, you can obtain. As long as you have the will, you will find the way. With that said, girls, happy Thanksgiving. Go out there and be leaders for your children. Let them thank you for all the hustling that you did. Let's get it.